Alrighty, here we go. Got it. All right, peaceful greetings, Islam, namaste. Whatever greetings you would like to say. Welcome, partner our delay, and I am Brother Sean Alim, one of the 5 astro magnificent bros from the 7 Hill Star Astrology Firm, here with my awesome bro,
Benjamin Bay. Peace and Islam to you all out there. Peace.
Islam. How's everybody doing today? How are you, Brother Benjamin?
I'm peaceful, bro. I'm peaceful.
Islam. All righty, y'all. We just gonna get right on into this. So let me get this plugged right on in. And hit the. There we go. Share screen cable. All right. Let me get right into that. Let it go, breathe, stretch, shake, let it go away, stretch, shake, let it go, breathe, stretch, shake, let it go. I want a long intro, but those posters you can go get on at 7hillstar.com when you go to the products page. Those are for pro bono for your study materials, so you can definitely cop that. And I'm gonna hit the.
Pardon me, may I?
Oh, go ahead, bro.
All righty. I wanted to make sure that I make it known for the public record, right? The reason why we're going on 2 hours after it was posted scheduled, it's all on Brother Hassan today on that. What I actually did was I had made it for myself, and if it's selfish, you brothers can let me know for the record. I wanted to make sure that what was shared, because we frequent a jurisprudence gym that we will not mention. However, the gym in which we practice jurisprudence, I wanted to make sure that, it was paramount in making sure that, why it's important how I'm seeing it. Like we already know that when it comes to, my overprotection, it can be intense. However, that's why we're 2 hours late. It's on Brother Hassan today. All right, it really is. So y'all can put that all on me because I wanted to make sure that, hey, man, we got this jurisprudence gym. Is we really on this? Because I'm telling you, we about to be at the point where we just got to write a letter and we'll have groceries or whatever the case may be, if that's how you look at it. However, I yield the floor. And questions, comments, and or suggestions. Anybody want to say, yeah, it was Brother Hassan fault, but right here, right now. Going once. Going twice. All right, y'all. I yield to y'all. I yield to you and Brother Benjamin. Thank y'all so much. Islam.
Islam. All righty, so I'm gonna get the screen share. Where we at? All righty, so I gotta get this bar out of the way. Come back here, and all righty, so we give all honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. He was the man. The more that I study and understand concepts and different things, man. I get why they say the half hasn't been told, amongst various other things. So make sure, you're definitely getting your books from RV Bay, doing your studies on Prophet Noble Drew Ali, Islam. And shout out to Brother Benjamin. He will be starting us off here. So without further ado, give me 1 second, Brother Benjamin, because for some reason, whenever I hit this share, hold on. I gotta get me out the way. There we go. All right, so back to the share. There we go. All right, I'll yield to Brother Benjamin, Islam.
All right, we got a full moon for Cancer Zone, day of Jupiter, hour of Venus, 11th hour of the day. It's August 11th, 2020. It's a Thursday. It's at 600 hours. 35 minutes and 44 seconds post meridian for what is that?
Tofino, Canada.
Tofino, Canada. Alrighty. On the rise there, you got Capricorn. The ruler of that is in the first house itself there next to the moon at 22 degrees, or it as in Saturn. 22 degrees, Aquarius, 8 minutes. So that's like astrological degrees. But getting into this full moon, ingressing to the first house pertaining to itself, what others first cast sight upon. I give testimony to the full moon, bringing a completion to self-constructed journey that has ran its course, and now you graduated, quote unquote, from this self-liberating journey, which will come with a further gain that will go with the gains already collected up to this point, to this full moon. So basically you're structuring, what you collected on this journey, self, like a new you, what I mean? The ending of quote unquote old you and the beginning of the new you that you transpired. And now yield for the full moon in the first house there, people in Canada, more dependable and respectable people. All right, here we go. So for the Gemini zone, day of Jupiter, Thursday, hour of Mars, 9th hour of the day, August 11th, 2020. Thursday, once again, we got 200 hours, 35 minutes, and 44 seconds post meridian for Honolulu, Hawaii. On the rise there at 2 degrees, Capricorn, 14 minutes, and that ruler is now in the second house of finances. All right, so let's get into it. Full moon now ingress to the second house pertaining to one's finances, values of the throat area pertaining to the body. I give testimony to a restriction pertaining to the group's resources, which in return will need the discipline and structure to withstand the temporary hold upon the group's resources. So that'd be Saturn, right? Like, slowing things down so you can, restructure, or like you made a purchase and you're like, oh man, now I gotta, wait a substantial amount of time to make another purchase because, I'm held up. I spent my last. So be careful how you're, spending. And if you do spend, make sure that everybody benefits when you do with the moon being Aquarius right there. This whole will bring light to what needs to be properly secured when the finances are put into a tense situation. So yeah, just bringing light to what one needs to do when the finances get tight or what may happen. So it's like the closing of like, all right, we experienced a quote unquote storm, and now we know what to do when the storm comes again. So it's on you if the storm comes and your house gets blown down this time. All right, and I'll yield on that for the full moon and the second house pertains to finance. All right. Full moon for this Taurus zone and for the day of Venus and the hour of the sun, the 7th hour of the day. This is the 12th of August, 2022. It's a Friday. We got 1,200 hours, 35 minutes, and 44 seconds. Post meridian. This is for the Guru.
Let's see. Goro, New Caledonia.
New Caledonia. All right, on the rise there, 12 degrees Sagittarius, 36 minutes. And the ruler of that will be Jupiter, and Jupiter is located in the 5th house of creativity in Aries, 8 degrees, 23 minutes. But we're here to speak about the speaking house, the 3rd house of communication, where this full moon will be taking place. They're conjunct with the Saturn there. Right? So this full moon now ingressing to the 3rd house pertaining to communication, siblings, local neighborhood, news, media. I give testimony to foreign news about banks and how resources being structured and respected, and a respected and dependable group or leader will make sure to balance out the tug and pull on the resources so that all parties will get their fair share by sharing information that can be accessible for all to take part into properly securing themselves and their loved ones. You know what I mean? So basically, pay attention to the news about things that they share, foreign domestic, I said foreign, with the sun being reflected from the 9th house, giving the moon, that higher learning, creative, royal, dependable knowledge, because the sun is consistent, and that is a reflection of, consistent, dependable, learning or knowledge that you can use, to secure a family down in the 3rd house, locally with the moon conjunct Saturn, you're going to be more structured, you'll be more dependent on, you're going to think before you act, the Saturn and moon together isn't, all bad. You just, we want to be more, quote unquote, say, sharp minded, you know what I mean? You're going to make sure that all the fat is So pay attention to things that you see in the media or your social media sites that you can use that can help your resources and your own and securing that, because this is the moon right here. So we want to think about how can you go into the collective and get what you need and get that gain. You know what I mean? And I yield for the full moon into the third house.
Yes, broski, doski. Gratitude indeed. All righty, so moving along here, we are in the Aries zone. All right, August 12th, 2022 on the holy day, Friday. And we at 10:35 anti-meridian, and we're at Rokuju, Japan. All righty. So we have the ascendant at 27 degrees, 14 minutes, Libra. We know that is ruled by lovely Venus. So the sun is at the degree of consumption. So, this is just a good time to consume yourself in some truth, some love and truth here, right? And, Venus is, let's see, where's she at? Venus in Leo in the 9th house. All righty. But, just to get on to the full moon here with, the Leo sun being in the 10th and Aquarius Luna being in the 4th house in Aquarius, reflecting each other. This is a great time to look at the subconscious emotions, feelings, and inner being pertaining to the home and domestic affairs, one's imagination, and early life upbringing. What needs to be let go of? What's holding you back from early life that now, as you've gotten older, you have outgrown? Now is the time to speak from your heart on what you want for the long term. Find ways to get creative to release the thoughts and vibrations from the home. Build up those partnerships that you truly, that you truly care about, and plant creative and expressive seeds. Not a good time right now for matrimony, for what others would call marriage, physical planting, and purchasing animals. And just for the lower vibration, the quote unquote shadows, as some would say, the collective could be dealing with in this area, this Japan area, could be dealing with one's joy and, going through blocks that have stopped him from shining at the home. Also, one's values and inheritance, stubborn with how they share within the partnerships or just how they relate to others, and their inner being of the I am identity. All right. And then finally, just to bring it all home for this, for the Aries zone. So how can y'all take the, this Leo Aquarius axis full moon with, the shadows that's come to it as well, is that finally, how do y'all act upon the lower frequencies and the energies of your soul and being? This is by getting comfortable with the mysteries of yourself and who you are, stepping into this higher version of yourself after a death and rebirth process, becoming comfortable with the new values of the home life, how you contract, limiting behaviors and the daily routines, and also finding security in business and partnership dealings. If single, you are now starting to value how you express yourself, your uniqueness, along with how you project those self-views and emotional relate to others. For those, in partnerships, there's also opportunity, to heal the back issues. Well, this is for collective period. So heal the back issues, which stem from the feeling of not being able to be yourself, being able to feel happy, and also feeling worthy of connecting to your higher self. And I'm out you for that. So, just find what makes you, connects you to you, and get comfortable with the new you and let go of the skin of the old you. And I would yield for Rokugo, Japan, in the Aries zone. We'll just keep moving along here. All righty. So next up here, we are pulling up to Rengat, Indonesia. So we're in the Pisces zones right now. So this is still August 12th, 2022 on the Friday on the holy day. All right. This is going on at 8:00 hours, 35 minutes, 44 seconds, anti-meridian. On the rise here, we have Virgo at 26 degrees, 41 minutes. And we know that Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So where's Mercury? Hey, he's in the 12th house at 12 degrees, 18 minutes, Virgo, at the business degree, and also in his exalted sign. So, hey, Mercury is extra strong right now, feeling good. But, we come to talk about Luna and Sol, right? So they're on this 5-11 house axis. And we know that the degrees are at the back. So when there's any back pain going on right now, just take the opportunity to really connect to you and truly be yourself. And let's just get into the foundation. So when it comes to your emotions, just your inner being, are you really ready to have those conversations pertaining to your foundation? And when you do, how can you bring about a creative sense of social awareness to your foundation, how you create, your romantic partner, the children? How can you relay all these inner, deeper beings, intuitions, subconscious to that? All right. And then also, what are your emotional and romantic tendencies? What needs fixing, what needs to be let go? Because with Luna being right there conjunct Saturn, there's an opportunity to really have these conversations, if you don't have them with others, with yourself or within your groups, to just structure on how you do things and how you create. And now that conscious is going to be poured out through soul, right? Because you're reflecting your inner being. So now how you express yourself, your identity is in the 11th house. So when it comes to, laws of chance, or, just dealing with offspring here, or, just having talks within the groups, there's really an opportunity to speak from the heart, have a mental heart-to-heart conversation here, first with yourself, and now you go and speak within your groups or your friend groups, and you're really able to start, really clearing away some things that, it's kind of been bogged up, and just making pieces to the puzzles. And, what makes this even more, communicative is with Mercury, how this is all being poured out. This is in Virgo. So you're really able to get into your life purpose, the consciousness, the subconscious, and you're really able to start having these conversations, whether you're just writing, meditating, doing yoga, whatever practice that brings you comfort and peace, whether within your groups or what you do within solitude. You're really able to, start taking steps toward your long-term goals, your projects, really getting into the hidden part of life and feeling okay with that. And Saturn. So yeah, it's a really great opportunity as I yield to, really just structure the emotions and just how you express yourself, within your home, within your friend groups, and really start, laying the foundation and necessary steps for what kind of career you would like and what long-term goals that you can have, so that starting with yourself, you'll bring eternal happiness, but you'll be able to collectively help others, find the eternal happiness within themselves. And I will yield. 4, Rengat, Indonesia. So the Pisces zone. That's ruled by Guru. So when you look at Jupiter, where he at? There he is in the 7th. So once again, just, expansive partnerships, expansive sharing. All righty. So now we are pulling up to Ratnapara, Sri Lanka. All righty. In the Aquarius zone. So this will still be on the holy day, Friday, August 12th, 2022. This will be occurring at 700 hours, 5 minutes, 44 seconds. All righty, so we have Virgo on the rise still. It's 4 degrees, 7 minutes Virgo. So that's at the degree of asthma. And Virgo will be ruling planet Mercury will be in the 1st house, still at 12 degrees, 18 minutes. So the business degree here. All righty, so moving on to the Sol and Luna for this full moon, for this 6-12 axis. We'll get into is that I'm getting that there's going to be opportunity really for the mothers and the children to shine here. They're going to have a an emotional, but yet at the same time intellectual conversation here. Way of teaching that they can do. It's also gonna be within the group. So, a work group, that really is like kind of like family to you, or it's like your home away from home. Will really be on the mind, really be communication here. With this going on, whether they're thinking about, finding that side hustle to make their main hustle, or whether it is looking ways that they can be creative and serve others, be about something bigger than themselves, but also, raising awareness. So it could be like a children's school, children's book that the mothers could create or be working on for the best of it. And then, reflecting that in the 12th, we have soul here. So this is the, consciousness, the identity, the kind of like the selfhood with it being in Leo. So now you're really able to start shining this childlike spirit, and, you'll be able to play more. So, really coming out of solitude for some that I'm getting. For others, they'll be, creating some art, or they have been creating art, within their private domiciles, or just creating with others, maybe couple, even a single, really just creating some kind of art that's going to bring about a joy and heartfelt expression. That's something they put their heart into. And that's really going to be able to bring healing to the groups and humanity, so that they'll be able to start to lay their bricks for the future, right? When we're getting into the, lower or kind of, lower vibrations of frequencies with this, what's your mental foundation? You have to ask it, how's your, what they'll say, your mental health? Have you been, doing the necessary mental checks? Have you been, feeding your mind and not ignoring things, just letting them bury? Or have you just even might have been, drowned by the own mysteries of your mind, right? So, it's the opportunity to really communicate that here. And, having the light shed upon your values, or you might be too comfortable or stable within your values, or just not able to find a way to really be creative. So, being careful with that as well. And finally, I would say, that's also opportunity for some higher learning here. So getting out of the comfort zone so that you can really learn something new, that you might have rejected before, but now that, that it's a new day and time, you might be able to see it a different way. And now that you are not rejecting, the life raft knowledge, you're not going to be drowning in the thought of ignorance, right? And when you're going to take that and balance it to really bring it home, with that, your emotion is going to be very strong and exalted here. So, you're really going to be able to take this higher knowledge, this wisdom, this philosophy, and really be able to apply that to your self-care, so that you can start feeding your mind with the proper, wisdom that is needed, taking care of your body, really doing necessary things to make your priorities work for you, and you're not working for them with this. And then finally, there could be, talks of, producing, the birds and the bees here doing some producing to really, bring something in, bring some champions in here, and really just continue, the healing part. And so you're having these talks, so you're not just trying to bring children to heal a, bonded or broken relationship, or, as they would say, try to trap someone, but really doing it out of your heart, knowing that you're doing it something for bigger than you, so that you can teach your little ones how to be and assist others. And I'll yield for Ratnapura, Sri Lanka, for the Aquarius zone there. So, really just getting into the business of things of your life and details here. I'll yield to Brother Benjamin.
Full moon for this Capricorn zone here for the day of Jupiter. Should be a Thursday. Excuse me. Hour of Mars, the 11th hour of the night, August 12, 2022. Friday. Well, that's crazy. I was the day of Thursday, the day of Jupiter, and this says Friday. 500 hours, 35 minutes, and 44 seconds post meridian for St. Pierre Union.
Indeed.
Yeah, 29 degrees Cancer, 28 minutes, and the ruler of that is house right there next to Saturn, still Aquarius. Alrighty, and full moon now ingressed into the 7th house, pertaining to relationships, litigation, projection. I give testimony to bring full light on a relationship that lacks nurturing and dependability and doesn't see the situation from both sides, seeking to relate with others and feeling secure. And feelings secure feels like a cold night in Chicago. I'll find those who mirror the higher principles in life and not seek for self-centered actions that doesn't properly care for the collective, you know. So shake that group that you're in, that you trying to relate to, can't, you know. So that relationship is running its course according to this full moon, you know. Don't go to false things that are for, you know, unstable comfortability. Just because you're comfortable doesn't mean you're comfortable. How you?
Yes,
Yeah. All right, we go to the 8th house right here. All right, full moon Sagittarius is on day of Jupiter, hour of Saturn, 9th hour of the night. We're returning to the
oh, they got broski freezing. You still up, Brother Benjamin? Get you freezing up, bro. Still froze. All right. So while Brother Benjamin is froze here, you know, he was about to go in on the Sagittarius zone. Yeah. So yeah, we'll just wait. Probably gonna log him out. Yeah. So yeah, I definitely logged Brother Benjamin out. So he'll definitely be, you know, coming right back in. You know, having these technical difficulties, but he's about to go in on a Sagittarius zone there. All right.
Yo, can you hear me up?
That's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna stop the screen share real quick so I can highlight you back.
Appreciate that.
Got you.
Preach. All right. So I think I was talking about that Mercury in the 3rd house being on steroids.
All right, so now
Yeah.
There we go.
Talk about that Mercury there. Yeah, Mercury's really in the chart right there. You look to the side, plus 12, you know, so take advantage of it. Like I said, you know, what's on the news, what's in the media, gather that detailed, useful information, you know, not just any information, all right? Because from the 9th house, we have Neptune up there, you know, trickling down some, you know, will cause confusion or isolating thoughts or smug, all right? So dig through the clouds of Neptune while you're, you know, in the 3rd house getting that information. But we'll slide over here to the 8th house where the full moon is happening in reflection to the 2nd house. So we got the house in the 8th house, and you got the 2nd house, like we said before, values and finances. And the full moon now rests into the 8th house pertaining to inheritance, shared possessions, death, and transformation. I give testimony to the full moon light being put on how the group will be moving forward pertaining to behind the scenes matters becoming more firm and dependable for the people. Luna being in Jupiter terms will assist Luna in taking more of a juristic approach to this behind the scenes matter, being civic in mind, seeing the higher values and disregarding the cultural that only harm the people. You know, so basically right here you're within the group and you're vetting the situation behind the scenes with Saturn there. It's going to make sure that, you know, it's signed, sealed, and delivered. You know, it's not going to cut corners or leave that one sheep out and the 99 and the fence getting their thing going. It's like, no, Saturn's like, oh wait, there's somebody's missing. You know, this needs to be here. You know, so the behind the scenes matter right now is going to be, you know, anchored in, you know, or we'll say board in, or, you know, or anchored for the collective because it's Aquarius. So even though it's going to go behind the scenes or a secluded place, what's happening in a secluded place is for everyone. You know, sometimes you have to quote unquote disconnect to connect. You know what I mean? So right here, it's getting things behind the scenes structured for generations to come, or because that's what Saturn does. You know, it thinks about this time and the next. It is for the time. You know what I mean? So getting things ready and proper, secured for times to come. So, you know, when that storm comes, when the second house, our eighth house things won't be affected. We'll be able to go to the eighth house and dust off, you know, the stuff that's going on top of it, in a place where it's secured. So when things happen, it doesn't get rattled. You know what I mean? So to wrap things up, basically a close to the behind the scenes things that were unstable. You know what I mean? The moon, you know, it changes signs a lot. So it's all right, now I'm here. And what do I have to do while I'm here? So while it's here, you know, it's tying up those loose ends for the group. And you're gonna gain from it. You know, All right, full moon for the Scorpio zone. They have Jupiter, hour of the moon.
Oh, no, not again.
100 hours, 35 minutes, 44 seconds, and time.
Man, they always mess with your connection, brother Benjamin.
Yo, can you hear me still?
Yeah, you good, broski.
Was that Gibraltar?
Islam.
Like, all right, BT. All right, on the rise there, some communication. 27 degrees Gemini, 42 minutes. And that, again, the ruler of that sign is located in the third house there. We're talking about Mercury, 12 degrees Virgo, 18, fourth house. Correct myself. So this communication and organizing is inside of our home now. All right. But we'll get to the ninth house where this full moon will be taking place. So we'll look here for the moon right there at 19 degrees Aquarius, 21 minutes there, in, you know, deep, you know, like counsel or talking to Saturn, you know, looking for some higher counsel, some higher learning, like someone who's been around the block a few times that could help, that's solid and isn't as, you know, emotional as the moon is. All right. So here, full moon now regressing to the ninth house pertaining to quest, adventure, higher learning, philosophy. I give testimony to world news pertaining to what's best for all communities using a rational and intellectual approach to solving these worldly concerns. Closing pertaining to the course, and now one feels complete internal with a firm grip on where one's status is and sees it within the whole and without the ego getting in the way without the ego getting drunk off the completion of the character building journey. All right. So you completed, you know, this higher course and you haven't got the big head. Oh yeah, I know what I know. And you know, I can do this. You're like, no, okay, cool. Now that I have this utility in my tool belt, I can access new things now. You know what I mean? You can throw out everything that you knew now that you completed this thing that you've been on this journey on that was and holding you back with Saturn being there. So now you're like, oh man, wow, the weight is lifted off now, you know. But that doesn't mean you lose focus. You know what I mean? Because, you know, the sun will rise the next day, so you still got another opportunity to tell another thing, but don't, you know, wear yourself thin. You know, but with Saturn there, you're not going to wear yourself thin anyway, but you don't want to be too lazy or feel down on yourself, things like that. Let's look at Saturn as a way to, you know, it's keeping the bone, it keeps your skin up so you don't look like soup. You know, look at it that aspect. It's like the rods and the frames inside the walls of buildings, so you can see the beautiful bricks and how people put the wind in there. So, support, isn't always seen, quote unquote, but it's always there. You know what I mean? So with that being said, just complete those things, put them to the side, and embrace what you need to embrace and keep moving forward. You know what I mean? I yield for one in the night house.
Islam. Alrighty. I guess I'll bring her home. Alrighty. Alrighty. So we in the Libra zone. We in the Libra zone. Alrighty. So we ain't talking about the Parkers, but we pulling with Stanley right now. Man, I cracked myself up with that one. Woo! All right, so this will be occurring on the Thursday at 2200 hours 35 minutes, or for some that go by other time, 10:35 post meridian here. We've got Aries on the rise, 11 degrees 39 minutes at the degree of quote unquote spiritual intuitions here. So, use your mind here, all right? And we know that Aries is ruled by Mars, which is in the second house of values, at the degree of autocratic and unscrupulous. But we're speaking on Sol and Luna. So this is the 10-4 axis here. So when it comes to the career here, there can be some ideas, thoughts coming up. I know, about how, you can getting a promotion, or finding ways to be entrepreneur, or even coming up with ways to just serve humanity here, or just coming up with some creative ways within your groups to really make what you want to do for humanity your job, as Parisa, or just something that you like to do, and that light is going to be shed, your emotions are going to be shed in the home. So you're definitely going to be, the collective in this area, on the Stanley area here, is really just going to be looking forward to, letting their light show, letting their talent show at the home, really just, making some changes, doing some late summertime cleaning, or, taking the little ones out somewhere, somewhere like scientific, where, if like little Joe's like, hey, Dad, I really like, dinosaurs or technology, or, art, where, y'all could be, having a family trip there, doing something for the little ones. And, with Saturn right there and 11th, definitely in a great spot, where he likes to be a rulership, in the 11th house, there's going to be an opportunity to really, get his mental game up. And let's see, if we look for Mars, how that's all being poured out. Okay, Mars is still transiting Taurus, at 25 degrees, 2 minutes Taurus in the house of values. So it's really just a releasing of the career and home, whether it's business, whether it's family, whatever needs to be released in the home, so that you can really do things in your career that's going to come through your drive for your values. So you have to do a value check, are your values in harmony with, your home and career, or what you would like for your home and career to be, are your values in check and in line with that? If not, okay, how do you get rid of that, right? So you have, this lunar, solar, reflection here, but at the same time, it's really squaring how you want to break through and what you're comfortable with. So now you have to look at what you're comfortable with, what, hitting things that you might not, reveal to others or talk to others, what makes you comfortable. Whether it's, your fear of like, well, if I don't study this, I don't have to worry about anything. What is it? You'll have to ask yourself that question. Or what is it that, about hitting knowledge, about astrology or joint ventures, or, other people's, quote unquote money? What is it that you don't like about it that you might reject that can help you? Even when you look to your emotions for that, there's an opportunity to structure that. And when you take the other growth opportunity, challenge that you have, you can really break through with these new sense of values to really be in harmony with your destiny and purpose. But it only comes down to if you're really ready for it, if you're really ready to close the gap between the comfort zone and the growth zone, really just planning out things here daily. And that's really going to come through and shine, in the home. So, because Venus is ruling over the second house, she's a final dispositor for that. And she's in Leo in the fourth house. So it's like, hey, and Venus and Leo, that's definitely, we think about how we relate to others. So, if you can't, purchase your loved one, yourself, or anyone gift, what is something that you can do for free that is just as fulfilling, as like, it's like that quote, being able to give things that money can't, they'll say money can't buy. So what's something from the heart that you could give that money could never buy? All right. And finally, let's say, yeah. And finally, I'll just wrap up on this with a, full moon Libra zone is really get into, what is the foundation of your emotions? What's the base of it? And how can you, restructure this foundation to, further strengthen your temple here with that. And, what are your passions? And then what are your hopes and wishes? Are they something that are just mysterious to you, or do you truly understand them? And then finally, and whether the creative and procreative urges. How do you create? How would you like to create? What's blocking you from being able to really create how you would like to? What are some new skills that you could learn to pick up to? And you look at that, hey, we got Jupiter, conjunct the ascendant. So, really there's an expansion of your mind, about to occur, if you're just open to that healing. And I'll yield to 4, for Stanley, man, because we are not the podcast. Dang, mama went at it too.
She probably was like really into her spiritual intuition was probably off with her love for bruh. She's using that now. It's like, no, it's really, you're not feeling it. He was mad Aries about it though. Mr. Still.
All right, so moving along here. All right, so we in the Virgo zone. All right, so we're now pulling up to Aruba, Venezuela. So this will be occurring August 11th, 2022 for you guys during the Thursday. It's a Jupiter day, Jupiter hour. So would you look at that? And we got Jupiter, still conjunct the ascendant. So hey, it's really some expansion here going on. We have the ascendant at 6 degrees, 32 minutes. Aries, quote unquote Janus. And we know that Aries is ruled by Mars, now in this, still in the second house here. And all right, so we're going to talk about this full moon, this, lunar solar reflection here, occurring in 11-5 axis. All right, so this is just your creativity, your romance and self-expression, reflecting how you do that within the group or just your hopes and wishes for the future here. So, the sun being below the horizon there. So, your identity, your, kind of conscious about yourself could be a little shadowed or just unclear. But hey, it's great to, one, not only just take some notes, but 2, really just look at how far you came and just look at how you used to do things when you're younger. All right, so now you can take those growth that you have done, the memories, the lessons, the healing. You can take all these different things and really just reflect that within your group. And whoever you converse with or just any associations that you're with. And if you're really not into, being open like that, hey, that's great as well. You can take that for yourself and really just structure it with, with lunar conjunct Saturn and with how you do things. And what's the best way is to, get your astrology reading. You know, whether you go through Seven Hill Star, or you go through somewhere else, or even, you know, just reading books, teaching yourself, you know, astrology would be the best way to, you know, learn yourself and learn, you know, the trends that come up, you know, so that how you're seeing how these planets are moving, how it's reflecting to your natal chart and where your placements are at, you're able to see, you know, get the foresight or the intuition to really see how things are going to just play out for you so that you're ready, so that you are now, you're coasting down the river or the lake with it, and you're not working against it and wondering why there are like continuous blocks or things aren't going your way as they should. Pardon me, okay? And then, so once again, we're going to talk about this, you know, lunar solar square, you know, with the lunar nodes. And we've got Uranus there conjuncting those nodes. Give me my mouse. Yeah. Anyways, so all right. So when it comes, you know, Uranus in a second, then you still got Mars there as well. But you know, the lunar north node, Uranus and Mars is, you know, it's got the final say so through Venus. So when it comes to, you know, your destiny, your purpose, or what gets you uncomfortable, your breakthroughs and your values, you know, there's really opportunity to come into a sense of one's self-worth, you know, and also really being able to see, as we know that, you know, 11th house is the second, 11th house is 12. The 10th house is 11 from the 12 from the 11th, right? So you really get this healing about how you see yourself. You know, what is your standing? What is your social position, right? And so you're really able to, you know, start to find a new sense of values from what was, you know, at one time, you know, it was for that moment, it was for that part of you with that journey, but you're now really able to see things on a much higher level, on a bigger scale. And you're really able to grow and start stepping into these new values and, you know, shedding the skin of what you once used to be and was. All right, so now you're really able to, you know, take the ways that you're comfortable with being intimate, or just, you know, how you handle your partner resources. And now you're really able to just bring a healing and an enlargement of your view of, you know, however you view the material, however you view the spiritual, you know, and really able to start closing doors on events, you know, other ascenic beings that just are no longer a part of your journey, that just, you know, you learned a lesson. Now it's time to move in and step up into these new lessons, these new journeys, these new healings. And Jupiter there being in the first, you know, is really expanding just your attitude, your I am identity. You know, are you really, you know, doing the self-knowledge? Are you, you know, copying the books or doing the work so that you can bring about a sense of healing and peace to yourself? Let's see, anything else for that? No, I think I'll yield for that. You know, all right, so I'll yield for Venezuela, you know, for the Leo full moon, for the Virgo zone there. So, you know, really just, you know, getting comfortable with, you know, just loving yourself and being able to give love to others, and just loving everything about your home, or making the necessary changes and having the necessary mental conversations to bring light and healing to the home. Oh, hold on, wait, what's the last one? Uh-oh, brother Banner. Let me see. So I didn't have that in there. All righty, no worries, no worries. So I'm gonna hit that stop share real quick. I guess I left one out, so.
You send me one with the moon in the 12th house.
Oh no, that's on me. I guess I was short one when I was going through adding them all. So let me come back and open up the zone. I am come back to the share screen. Voila. No worries. All right. So finally, we in the 12th house. Finally. All right. So, you know, this is you know, in the Leo zone. All righty. So this is occurring August 11th, 2022 on a Thursday. at 1900 hours, 35 minutes, 44 seconds, 7:35 post meridian. And we are pulling up to Hanga Roa, Chile. All righty, guys. So we have a, lunar right there at 19 degrees, 21 minutes in the 12th. And so same degree, 19 degrees, 21 minutes in the 6th house. So, all righty, when it comes to, soul being in the 6th house, right, there's going to be a sense of, service, whether it's for yourself or for others. You're going to be thinking about your mental offspring, but also just your material offspring. How can you really, bring the heart and the joy and play to yourself and your little ones, and if you don't have any little ones, hey, that's great as well. How can you bring that to yourself? How can you organize your service to yourself? And if you are any, any kind of like serving places or, just any kind of job or, overall at the end of the day, how can you be of self-service to yourself and others? All right. And then we've got Luna there in the 12th house. All right. And so it's going to be some healing, maybe there's going to be some, family of friends as maybe, not a doom and gloom astrologer, but there's going to be some mental conversations had or some mental realizations that are going to be, remembered coming upon your subconscious. And this is going to be some closure here. Maybe there's a family feud or someone's holding a grudge against someone, they're finally going to let it go because they're going to realize that, holding on to that grudge or just whatever it is, a disagreement, you're really going to have that conversation, but it's going to be on more of the mental side. It's not going to be, truly emotional, but, you're really going to be getting to the roots of your mind here. So, with closures bring healing. So, letting go really means for the new. So you're going to have, with that healing, there's going to be a new sense of value for yourself. And, to get into, what I was talking about earlier, how, there's this challenge going on, with just how you see yourself, how you view yourself, from the heart and mentally with what makes you comfortable. Are you really ready to get past that comfortability? All right, and how do you do that? You look to the opposite. All right, so North Node's right there. 17 degrees, 47 minutes Taurus. So that's about getting past just your comfort values, and like what brother Benjamin said earlier. Just because you might be, comfortable or stable doesn't truly mean you're really comfortable and stable. That's only like a facade or just a cover. Or just like a Band-Aid you're putting over your wound to tell yourself to make yourself feel better, So what ways can you really, get into your mind and communicate to get you out of that comfort zone that you can have this breakthrough, really just have, usher in this, not say rebel, but, what kind of rebel ways that you might think are out the way, but can really bring what you would truly like to yourself, And, that's still, being ruled by Saturn. So there's just some lessons to learn here, about yourself, and, about in your friends group. So your friends could really give you some great information. Or, if your friends really don't bring you that great information, you can listen to yourself here and really just tune into, some higher knowledge, some wisdom, some meditation, some yoga. Or maybe just, going to exercise your mind there. All right. And I think with that, I'm going to yield. Let me see. Wait. Yeah. And just be determined and resourceful, so, how to really balance all that out because it's coming through Saturn. So, using this 6-12 axis to really just, for Hanga Roa Chile, how can y'all shine light in your service and at the same time be about humanity? And then, structuring all the steps, the practical steps along the way there. So, there's going to be a sense of social awareness that's going to increase your values, increase the finances, and really just structuring your mind on you know, what's truly money, what's truly credit, you know, what are bills, you know, all these different things that you're seeing on, you know, the internet or having these talks about, you know, Saturn's really going to bring, you know, opportunity to really see things for what they are and not just the comfortable matrix that, you know, has been occurring and going on. Now you. All righty, and get it back there. All right, Brother Ben, did you have a chance to look in the chat, the YouTube chat?
Oh, yeah, I did. It wasn't anybody, you know, saying anything. Except,
I would say what? Peace and love to JL in the chat.
No, not this time. JL not in the chat this time. It's his brother and son's comment. Peaceful greetings, beloveds. In the comments, peaceful greetings.
Peaceful greetings to you, beloved brother son.
But yeah, you know, I'm sure he came through though at the time. I'm sure he was like, yo, or you know, if that's
Yeah.
But like, oh, bro. So JL, you see this in the playback? He was looking for you, bro.
Yeah, peace and love to you, bro.
Put that on you, that you know, bro.
All right. You know, once again, you know, pardon the delay, you know, y'all know how it be when you just having a conversation and boom, time, you know, flies, but you know, time never was, a man was not. You just have those conversations and, you know, they need to be had and, you know, just open, enlightening conversations. Hey, that's what's going on. So, you know, we've got, you know, the first of the month, we got 10 days till this Leo, you know, Aquarian new moon. Full moon. All right.
So stay consistent on the journey until to the full moon to get that proper report. So you can like, all right, cool, this is completed. You know, you don't want to feel I could have did this or you know that was bad. Finish it out. It's, you know, that's what it is.
Yeah, so from like August 8th to the 14th, because you know it's 3 days before an exact when the most, you know, effects will be going on. So, you know, we'll have that going on. And then also, you know, make sure that you are getting in contact with, you know, either me or Brother Hassan for August 12th for the Helical Rising of Sirius conference workshop that we are having. You know, it's definitely gonna be a great, you know, workshop to go on. So make sure you definitely get in with us, tap in with us with facts. You know, you really get to learn astrology. You get to know the astrology behind Sirius rising and all that. You know, because I'm pretty sure as we get closer to it, you know, we're going to see everyone talking about it. So, you know, get the true light to it and just not a shallow, what do I want to say, kind of like a shallow version of it, you know. And you know, peace and love to everyone. Like, share, subscribe, you know, to go to 7thehillstar.com. You know, follow us on all our different social medias. You know, we're on TikTok, we're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest. What else? You know, but definitely just go to the hub, you know, make sure you like and subscribe at 7Hillstar, all rights reserved on YouTube, so that you can catch us live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I think that's kind of it for me. Brother Benjamin, Brother Hassan, you got anything that you would like to add in?
You already know I'm in this sewer long without saying too much, baby. Just all good, baby. All right, you already know, bro. Astrology on a couple of these devices. You already know on the phone, man. I'm already in the jurisprudence gym working out. No, I'm serious.
Get my sets with you real quick. You know.
Yeah, you already know, man. My bros, Brother Benjamin, Brother Sean, I already know y'all did excellent, man. I swear. Besides, you know, the first. When it comes to the 7Hillstar Astrology Firm, man, I'm telling you, the best things that have happened to me are my brothers. They keep me grounded, especially my mother, Mistress Console. Of course, she keeps me grounded. But I'm telling you, when it comes to you interacting with your own, like when mothers are around mothers, I'm hoping that we can all keep each other accountable. When brothers are around brothers, we can keep each other accountable. Because I learn a lot because sometimes I'm real sheltered in my thinking because I'm overprotective of my brothers. All righty. So sometimes, you know, it's got to be kind of let known, you know what I mean? At times, you know, where I'm at sometimes in my perspective, because I swear y'all already know I want to make sure everybody got everything they need. And everybody got everything they need, and I can go chill because everybody good. So I already know, Brother Benjamin, Brother Sean, y'all already did the thing on that. So that's it, man. I yield. I'm about to get back to this. Me and my baby about to step outside and continue listening to this super long file. All right.
I'm about to hop in there with you. So, you know, thank you everyone. You know, in the live chat that came that will share this or see this in the future. We appreciate you. We love you. This is 7 Hill Star coming from Northwest to Maxim, your number one Moor American astrology firm, nationally, internationally, and galactically. And enjoy the rest of your lovely moon day. 7 Hill Star, we are out. Peace and love.